Hey guys, it's Glenn from ZUP. Welcome back. We're going to give you a tip today on how to repair a ZUP board. So what we've heard is some people asking, how come my ZUP board has water in it? Well, there might be a slight crack in the board that's caused from somebody dropping your board on concrete or hard rock, and the tip or the tail might have a small split in it. I'm going to show you an example of that. The boards are made out of ABS plastic, and with that plastic comes rigidity, but also it could potentially get damaged. It will turn white, it'll show you that it's taken a hit, and there could be a split and you may not even see it. Now, if you've got water sloshing around in your board, you have to figure out how to get the water out first. Let it dry so then when you put your epoxy on, it seals it well. If you've got enough water in your board and you want it to drain pretty quickly, there's a fairly easy way to do that. So if your damage and trauma is on the other end of the board, I usually will put a very small hole in the top of the board. That gives it air evacuation ability. So we're going to put a small hole in the top, and then we're going to put a small hole on the bottom. And then the board will naturally be able to go through and drop and drain all the water out of the board until it's not sloshing anymore. Then obviously dry it off really well. Make sure that both ends are dry, and then apply your epoxy. Okay, so next we're going to show you how to drill the end of the board. We're going to use an electric drill, about a 1/8 inch diameter drill bit, and we're going to go into the end of the board near the white area. It's typically white when it has trauma. And if your kid has dropped it on the concrete and it turns white, there could possibly be a crack that you can't even see. So we're just going to go to the very tip of the board where that trauma happened, go down inside of there, come back out. Remember to wear your safety glasses. Okay, what we found is JB Weld works really well with an ABS plastic. Doesn't take much, 5 minutes for it to cure, an hour for it to set, and you're on the water. Okay, notice the clear epoxy has two tubes. Those two have to mix together to cure to make a very strong bond. First, you take the tip off. Then you have an applicator tube that actually doubles as a mixer. It helps you get the mixing started. Goes on the end, press in, turn. Now it's on there, and it gives you a plunger that allows both barrels to get pushed through the mixer tube. Instead of applying directly to the board, I'm going to mix it on this. I'm going to additionally try to get more mixing done by putting it on my cardboard, spare cardboard. A little bit more than you think you would need. And then I'm going to use a wooden stick of some sort. Popsicle stick's my favorite. If you have any kids, you might have those around. I'm going to thoroughly mix this. It also gives me the ability with a popsicle stick to really grab that and then lay it up onto the end of the board. You can see this area here. And just keep applying until you feel like you've got not only the small hole that you drilled, but obviously we're worried about that seam that goes from here to here. So I would just make sure that you cover that whole seam, because you may not know exactly where that leak is. Note also that you will want to be testing where that leak is, if you can, to find out where that water is, and watch it as you pick the board up and see where it's dripping from. That could help as well. Alright, it looks like the hole it's enough down in the hole where it's sealed, and the crack has been sealed along the way. It's clear, so you don't have to be perfect. We're going to wait 5 minutes. It should cure, and then in 1 hour, you're on the water. Okay, so that covers 90% of the damage issues that we've seen out in the field as you guys have been enjoying your ZUP boards. Most of the time it's the tail of the board. Sometimes it's the nose of the board, the very top part of the board. And sometimes it's along an edge where it might have dropped on concrete or a rock. So check it out, try to figure out where that white mark is and where that damage might be. Look for leaks, obviously. And again, I'm Glenn at ZUP. We're glad to be able to help you guys get back out on the water. If you have any other questions, contact us at hey@zup.com, HEY@ZUP.com. Thanks a lot.